Hey guys, so today we're going to be playing through this ridiculous mod. It's called More Spawns and it's by a modder called Tifty. It basically triples the amount of enemies in Elden Ring, and as you can see, it's not going to be pretty. Okay, so my mission for this video is to make it from the starting point all the way to Stormveil Castle. I'm going to go in a counterclockwise direction and see if I can hold my own against triple the amount of enemies that have now infested Limgrave. And the reason for that is this mod only affects Limgrave. Each additional enemy had to be placed by hand by the modder, so you can see why it's not a mod for the whole game yet, because that would have taken ages. I've got to say, I'm pretty nervous. Alright, so for starters, I know there's usually a tree sentinel here, so it'll be interesting to see how many there are now. Okay, 2, that's going to be doable, I think. I thought there'd be 3, but we can manage 2. I have to say, if you've seen my videos before, I'm not the best at Elden Ring. Like, I'm not a pro player or anything like that, so don't go expecting anything big unless you're expecting me to die lots. You can expect that. And there it is. Okay, we'll go again. I'm wielding the Giant Crusher Hammer, as you can see, which is not my usual weapon. I actually, a few minutes ago, I re-rolled my stats because I was making another video. So I'm not really used to this moveset. I usually do favour a katana with bleed, and the hammer here just feels really slow to me. So that's my excuse there. It's good to get the excuses in really early on. But this time we have summoned the Dung Eater, and that makes all the difference. Go on, Dung Eater. Okay, we've killed the tree sentinel duo. We'll push on in the vague direction of the castle. And it's just really interesting to see all the different mobs here and how the numbers have grown. Usually there's a few enemies around this campfire, but now with the mod it's the size of a small platoon. So let's see if we can take them all out. Again, this moveset is not the best, but hey, I did put all my points into strength, and this is one of the best strength scaling weapons as far as I know. Look at the size of me, like I feel like a little scrappy dog here. This mod makes Elden Ring almost like a zombie game, like there are actually hordes of enemies as opposed to a handful of stragglers. It would actually be interesting to see if someone could make a mod where they even quadruple the amount of enemies here and just cover the entire map with enemies. Although, to be honest, that might break the game. Alright, that's taken care of. We now descend to the lake. And this is interesting. 2 flying dragon Agheels. Where once there was one, and now there are 2. This is going to be a tough fight. I know it's literally the earliest dragon in the game, but as I say, I'm not good. My tactic, though, is very multi-layered and complex. What I do, you see, is I ride on my horse and swing my hammer. It takes a lot of skill to do that. What it seems like to me is the typical enemies that you see all around the map, this modder has tripled them, but with the field bosses like the tree sentinels and the dragons, there's only 2 of them. I guess if you were to put 3 dragons in this little bit, something might break. Which is fine, I can take on 2 dragons. I don't know about 3 there, that would be a pretty tall order. Right, double dragons down. On the way to Stormveil Castle, we're gonna have a brief detour to another camp. And as you can see, this one is populated by Caden sellsword enemies. A whole bunch of Caden sellswords. There's also a horseman and a load of wolves. God, what I wouldn't do for a grenade. That would be satisfying, wouldn't it? I'm gonna take out everyone here just for having the gall to even think about trying to kill me. Do not even think about it. Alright, only the walls are left. I can't really blame you for wanting to kill me here, walls. I know this is just your bestial nature and your lack of self-consciousness, but it's still no excuse, you must die. Now this is the route to Stormveil Castle, and in Elden Ring this area here is known for having a huge number of enemies, so what we're going to do is round them up and just try and have the most enemies on screen as possible. Let's see what that does to the frame rate. Here we go, let's just aggro everyone, round them all up and kite them over. And when these guys get out their horn, it's on. They call everyone in the vicinity over. Everyone's like, who is this idiot? Okay, we'll jump on the tent to get a good old look at the crowd. To be fair, the frame rate is holding up pretty well. Better than my body will be holding up in just a few seconds. So this army that you see, it's made up of Godric Knights and Godric Soldiers. The Knights are the ones you want to watch out for here. They can tank damage with the Gilded Great Shield and get you from distance with the Lance, which they use for poking. And as well as the Godric Knights, we've also got the Godric Soldiers, all types of them. Some have straight swords, some have war picks, some have crossbows. So for these, my tactic is to just wade right in. It's a simple tactic. I could play it cautious here and maybe snipe them from distance with my bow and arrow, but at the same time, I do have a big hammer and I would like to use it. It's super satisfying to do this move. It just launches enemies straight up in the air. And you can take out multiple of them in one go. We're starting to thin them out a bit now. It's getting a bit easier. Godric soldiers are taken care of, and we're pushing on to Stormgate and eventually to the castle itself. Apart from all the close calls where I nearly died, that wasn't hard at all. We'll just speed through this section. Okay, that was satisfying. Again, we've got another mob of roaming enemies, a much bigger mob than you would get in vanilla Elden Ring. I think they should die. Here we see some wolves in a huge wolf pack. They should also die. Alright, coming up to the castle itself. Now my plan is to just get to the front gate. That's all I want to do. If I do that, then I completed my objective of this completely objective-free mod. This demands intense concentration. Alright, we've reached the gate mod beaten. That's the mod beaten in my book. And the amount of satisfaction I feel is 0. Nothing's really changed for me. I've accomplished nothing. Anyway, I think it's time to make my heroic last stand and go out like a warrior. So anyway, that was the More Spawns mod by Tifty. I had fun, I hope you had fun watching, and if you want to download that mod, I'll put a link to it in the description. It's available on Nexus Mods right now, so that leaves me just to say thanks for watching. Remember to hit that like button, and for more Elden Ring videos, subscribe to the channel.